Ata Māori e koutou. I hope you've all had a wonderful holiday. Oh, it's Mrs. Hubbard here, by the way, in shadow. And I have just got for us today a little bit of a lesson on how we teach literacy in Ako Kea. So this lesson is actually more for the adults. Adults, I'm going to show you how we teach it in the hopes that maybe you might find 5 minutes to also teach this to your tamariki. Right. So to start with, what you're going to need is a pen or a pencil. I'm using the fridge today. I was lucky enough to get a whiteboard pen from school, but if you don't have that, you can just use a pencil and paper or a chalkboard. Our chalkboard has got our chore roster on it, so I'm not going to upset that today. So we'll stick to the fridge. Ideally use something that you can rub out with, but that's okay if you don't. So for our literacy lessons, I have split the kids up into their 3 targeted groups. So to find out what your child is doing, just scroll down on the slide and find their name, and then it will have them in a group and what stuff they'll be learning for the day. So there are 3 steps, 3 easy steps in our literacy lessons. The first one is our letter sounds. So let's say today the letter sounds we are going to work on is S, A, T, I, and M. With your child, I just want you to go like this. Actually, they start by drawing their tree trunk, and we'll do 4 branches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they might even remember to lay the egg. This is our lingo that we use in our class. It's just to remember to start right there, not over there or anything silly like that. So I might say to Shadow, who's my child, Shadow, can you write for me the letter that has a S sound? And then they'll go like this. Ouch, Shadow, don't attack me. They'll go like this. They might go like something like that. And you say, oh, that's really, really good, but it's facing the wrong way. Remember to do this letter. Start with your little open mouth and go back the other way. Don't forget to pat it on the head. Now, you might say to them, what letter is that? And they might say, Sammy the snake. And you say, no, that's the shape it is. The letter is called an S. That's the letter's name. Right, next, can you write for me the letter that makes an eh sound? Then they might, now this might be quite hard because it's been about 2 or 3 weeks. They might have forgotten, but they start with a little open mouth, climb up the short stick, back down. Sorry, my writing is terrible, but that's all right. And you say, do you remember what that letter's name is? And you say, that's an A. Then carry on. Can you write for me the letter that makes a T sound? We've got our tall stick and our twig. What's that letter's name? That's a T. Okay, can you write for me the letter that makes an sound? Sound. And then we go like this, short stick with a spot. What's that letter? That's an I. And last of all, can you write for me the letter that makes a sound? Not a m sound, an sound. It's short stick, tunnel, tunnel. Now these shapes that I'm talking about, it's a little bit weird language, but it is in your home learning book, so you can have a look at it. But if not, that's all right. Just make sure we get the letters down. So we've got S, A, T, I, and M. Right, so we have done our first step, which is our letter sounds. The next step is to write a sentence. Right, today the sentence we're going to write is actually one we're going to read later, and it always is one that we read afterwards. The sentence that we're going to write today is the sentence, I am Sam. Now, writing the sentence is probably the hardest part of this literacy lesson because we've got to think about the sounds, think about the shapes, think about blending them all together to make some words. Right, it starts with the word I. Now, this is even trickier because this I breaks the rules. It doesn't say anymore, it says I, and it's always got to be a capital. So that's a tall stack, twig on the top, twig on the bottom. Now we call this word here, this we call a heart word. I'm going to put a little heart next to it just so we remember. That's because we just have to learn it by heart because it's breaking the rule. It doesn't say this word says I. Sorry, my writing is terrible. Okay, so we've got I. Now our next word is am. Now the next tricky bit is to remember to put a space in to start with. So we could do about 2 fingers or a finger. I, eh. What's that first sound you hear in am? Oh, it's an A. So we do our A. I, am. What can you hear on the end of am? Oh, what letter is that? What letter is that? Oh, it's an M. I am. Now, by now, your kid has probably made lots of mistakes along the way, but that's all right. You just rub it out and you keep going until you get the right result. I am. And last of all, Sam. Now, they love this sound, which is our S. And if you're feeling really, really tricky, you can even talk to them about doing a capital because it's a name, which is a big S. So we do our little open mouth, back the other way. I am Oh, that's an A. I am And our last sound is an M sound. Now, it's probably going to take your kids a bit longer because they've probably forgotten a lot of stuff over the holidays and it's going to be tricky, but they'll get there. And we're still learning about how to end a sentence. So you can talk to them about putting a full stop on the end of your sentence. And that, my friends, is step 2. Now, actually, I think the easiest part, because we've done this one, we're really, really ready now to read a sentence, especially because we've just written it. So also on the slide, I'll have photos of our readers that we've been doing, and I'll just put up one photo of the day of probably 2 pages, 2 or 3 pages of what we're going to read. So we start here. We've got our book. Look at the cover page. Oh, what does that say? Oh, that's funny. That looks like that sentence we just wrote. We've got I am.